Hey everybody, welcome to Video Game Corner. I'm J-Tos, and today I'm going to be talking about Microsoft. Now, recently Microsoft filed a patent trying to regulate piracy, and the way they're going about this is they want to set it up so they can watch people in their living rooms. And I'm saying to myself, how does this not go against all the privacy laws? How is it that they can sit here and watch us in our living rooms? Now, there's an article, I went ahead and downloaded it. It's a few paragraphs. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you so we can kind of get an idea of what they're doing. And here it is. Microsoft has filed a patent for a system that could potentially use a camera to determine whether you're breaking its content viewing rules or not. U.S. Patent Application 201-202-78904 describes the ability to use a Kinect-like camera-enabled device for continuously monitoring a number of users at a display device during the performance of some content, which basically means the camera would watch the faces of anybody watching a display showing licensed content like a movie or a game, and then track those faces to see if the viewers had appropriately licensed it. The patent lists a number of options for determining the validity of the possible viewers, including counting their number, as in making sure only 3 people were able to see a movie, or actually identifying specific users to make sure Julie isn't watching a movie that Mark was only licensed to see. The patent itself doesn't specifically mention Kinect, but it does mention the idea of a gaming and media system, as well as mobile devices with the same capability. Obviously, such a system would have some weaknesses. Could you see a picture or a sculpture to spoof the camera? And the patent states that at the end that this is just one possible implementation of a setup like this. Microsoft is apparently thinking about using Kinect's ability to recognize you for more than just throwing around spells and playing games. In the future, that camera may be used to figure out whether you're following the rules or not. You know, I find this very disturbing. I also find it very wrong. I mean, not just disturbing. This is ridiculous. I mean, these companies are just getting ridiculous. Yeah, there's piracy out there. Yeah, people are trying to, get one over on all these big companies. But these companies make a lot of money. And, whatever happened to us just buying stuff and owning it? When I buy something, I own it. I mean, if I want to take everything I own and throw it out in the garbage or just give it away to someone, that's my business. It's not Microsoft's business. When I own a movie, that's my business how many people watch it. As long as I'm not, selling it, trying to make money for people viewing it, then it's none of their business what I do with it, how many people watch it. And it's like we're getting into this society where if you own something, you don't really own it. And it's so ridiculous. It's like, I don't even know what to say. And it seems like in society we've all started becoming so, so lazy and jaded that we don't want to, speak up anymore. I went up and looked this up on YouTube, and I only found like 3 or 4 videos. And I actually found out about this video from Alpha Omega Sin, and that's the link was to this article. And then I decided to look it up online and say and see how many other people are talking about this. There's only a few that I could find, and 2 of them are from mainstream sites. And these mainstream sites, it's just some pretty girl, smiling her face off, saying, "Oh, don't you think this is just bad?" They don't even think it's bad. They're like, "What do you guys think?" It's like, this is terrible. What are they thinking? When did we become a society of people to where we just let everything happen? It's always in the news. Nobody votes anymore, and I'm guilty of it too. I don't vote because I never see anybody that I care to see in office. And then there's that saying, if you don't vote, you can't complain. It's like, I pay taxes, I can complain all I want. Well, I used to pay taxes, now I'm disabled. But when I pay taxes, but it's like, people are just letting things happen. And you know what it is? It's a bunch of crusty old white guys that really run the world. And they're up there saying, well, let's keep the middle class chasing after the newest toy. Let's have them, always chasing after. I mean, how many households have, in the old days it was the father worked, the mother stayed at home with the kids and took care of the household. And it worked, but now it's like, and I'm definitely not against, women working. I think everybody should be equal and everybody should chip in. But now it's like one person can't even stay home. Both parents have to work. Their kids are not attended to as much as they'd like, and kids tend to do a lot of things. We've all been raised nowadays in front of the television, in front of the video game console. And there's nothing wrong with television or video games. I love them. But, anytime something bad happens, we blame video games. Anytime, or something. It's always, nobody takes responsibility. And what's going to happen is if this does get passed and they can watch us in our houses, this is disgusting that they would even think of this. And you know what? They've got some lawyer sitting there at Microsoft, or a team of lawyers probably, saying, yeah, we can probably get this to go. Let's do it. I mean, they don't just say, well, let's just do it and then just do it. They talk to their lawyers. They have, they're the biggest company on the planet from what I can tell. I mean, Bill Gates, he's the richest man in the world. I guess that's still true. I don't really know. But you've got this guy who basically is so rich, and he's probably got the best lawyers money can buy, and they're telling him, yeah, we can get this to go through. And what a lot of people forget, and I doubt Microsoft forgets this, but they don't want us to know it. We, the consumer, have the power. We cannot buy their stuff, and it's just sick that why are we not crying out saying no on more issues? No. We need to stop this. We need to say, Microsoft, no, you're not going to do this to us. If we buy something from you, we own it. You don't own our stuff partially. It's not a partnership. When we buy something for you, from you, it's ours. It's not yours and ours. And I'm getting tired of them acting like, they have a say in what we can and can't do with our stuff. This is getting ridiculous. And and that's the way the world is. It's like, what? Because piracy is running rampant? Well, lower your prices and then pirates wouldn't do it. Everybody could sit there and defend you and say, well, it's right or wrong. They can charge whatever they want. Yeah, they can charge whatever they want. Nobody's debating it. Nobody's saying that you can't. But it's just like anything. If I move to a country where they don't speak English and they don't have a law saying that I have to learn their language, isn't it foolish of me not to learn the language? Just like Microsoft, it's foolish. If you guys are going to charge this exorbitant amount of money and say, we're going to charge this high price, but, we're doing it because of piracy, so we have to make our money. It's like, piracy started because people didn't want to pay a ton of money for stuff. If you went ahead and put all this stuff out, like if you put a new video game out, like whatever it is, or one of these companies, and they just put in like a $20 price tag on a video game, to produce a CD or a disc of any kind, a DVD disc, Blu-ray, whatever, costs them nothing. And yeah, they have to cover the costs of making the game, putting all that money in, but it's like, when they do that, why aren't they, and then they do the DLC and stuff, and I like the DLC. I think that's a cool idea, and it helps them get more money. But it's like, lower the price, and I'm not saying from $60 to $20 for a game. I mean, that's a big jump. But do things like give us, something so we'll want to buy it from you. Don't make me have to wait for GameStop to lower the price of a game before I go and buy it. $60 is like, especially in this economy. Wait for the economy to go up. Wait for the economy to get better before you go to that $60. Adjust the prices. It's just like housing. I live in a town where it has a really high unemployment rate, and I paid $575 for a nice 2-bedroom apartment. Now, when I used to live in Las Vegas, a 2-bedroom would cost you around $1,000. Now, that's because people made more money there. Now, why don't they do that with video games? The whole country's in trouble. Let's lower the prices and, do things accordingly. Why go to all this trouble? How much money are you spending to try to get a patent on doing this? And then what about the software and everything else that goes along with it and the man hours? How much money are you spending? Why don't you try putting money into quality products and giving us a decent price, an affordable price? Because people just can't afford stuff. When it comes down to food and rent and clothing and medicine and things that we need, people are going to do that first before they buy your stuff. And people need to be entertained, otherwise people will go crazy. I mean, you look back in history when Hitler was taking stuff away from people, people were not happy. Look at it's just, and they were just poor. And this was just, this is mostly the Jews, but look at the way those people, I don't want to compare this to Hitler, so I'm going to change it. This is not what I want to say. Let's look back at the Depression in the United States. People were poor. They did what they had. People do what they have to do when they have no other options. So when people need to be entertained, and people want to be entertained, and then you just can't sit there and say, well, people just don't have to be entertained. Well, if that were the case, then, it's like somebody saying, well, in prison, we need to do this. Well, when people, in prison, we can't let people be entertained. That's just wrong. They're there to be punished. Well, if you treat them like human beings, maybe they'll start acting like human beings. But, I'm not saying give them, let them have a big screen TV, and then we don't have to go extreme on everything. But what I am saying is, people, the middle class, which is most of us are lower middle class in the United States right now, we are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people are losing their houses, and you want to pull crap like this and watch us. Don't you think people are going to get a little sick and tired and maybe boycott you? Look at all the comments online. Every time I look at something that I do find, people are saying, I'll never buy anything from Microsoft again. I'll never do this. I'll never do that. It's like, what? Yeah, you guys pretty much have a monopoly on computers. You and Matt. You and, like companies like HP and stuff. But, there's people like me. If you do this and you get it passed, I will be just using older equipment. I will not buy anything new. There are plenty of video games made from the Magnavox Odyssey to the PS3 or the Xbox 360, and I won't even play Xbox if this I'll boycott anything Microsoft I can find. I will stop using computers. I will not care. And you know what? Well, and I will only play those systems and leave it alone. And yeah, maybe Microsoft, I'm sure Microsoft has a hand in a lot of that stuff, but I'm not buying anything new from you, I guess is what I'm really saying. It just won't happen. I will do everything I can. I see people saying they're going to put duct tape, they're going to cover their cameras with a blanket, they're going to do all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, maybe, I don't even know if that'll work. My impression is that they might even use, like, they're looking at, like, images. Maybe it just kind of, I don't really know what kind of technology they're going to be using. But it's like, what are they thinking? How is this even, like, okay to do? And why are they even reading, like, all these comments? Are they just picking some random site and saying, well, let's go see what people are saying about this? People are pissed. But people are pissed, but that's the end of it. They're saying, oh, I'm really pissed off. Okay, I'm going to go back to doing what I'm doing. More people need to be making videos on YouTube about this. More people need to be saying something, news articles, forums. They need to speak out, because this is ridiculous. This is wrong. And why is it that, why are not more people... Everybody needs to know, everybody who sees this video, post it. You have my permission to post it on your channel. Get this video out. You have my permission. Go ahead and make your own video. Link everything. Don't let Microsoft do this. This is wrong. We cannot let them do this. And if they do get it passed, boycott them. The people need to speak out. They did it in the 60s, and yeah, they didn't get a lot done, but you know what? I'm sure they got some things done. This is one thing we need to unite as gamers, that we will not stand for this. When we buy something, we own it. You don't own our stuff. We buy it from you. Okay, we're not renting it. We're not leasing it. We're not borrowing it. We are buying it. We own it. And you know what? I'm getting sick and tired, and a lot of people are getting sick and tired of you telling us what we can and can't do with our stuff. So you know what? Microsoft, get a clue, okay? Because, you know, people need to speak out. Please, people, please, please speak out against this. Let Microsoft know that we will not stand for it anymore. We are consumers. We need to buy. You know, it's like me going to McDonald's and buying a cheeseburger, and then they coming in and taking a bite and saying, wait a minute, you're not eating that right. What do you think you're doing? You let your child have a bite of that? You gave that to your wife? No, no, no. We only licensed you to eat that. You know, it's like, what? It's like, I'll do what I want with my stuff. And if Microsoft does do this and they find some way around it to watch me, I'm going to keep doing it. I bet a lot of people are too. They're just going to keep doing it. And if they try to shut us down, it's going to cause a lot of problems. I mean, you can't piss off all of your customers. I worked in the pizza business for years, and you can't piss off customers. You cannot do it. So please, everybody, please, you know, comment and subscribe to this video. Let me know what you think. Let's speak out. And yeah, you have my permission to take this video and download it and post it to your channel. Let people know. Everybody, let's spread the word, because this can't happen. Cannot happen. Anyway, I'm J-Toast. This is Video Game Corner. Comment, subscribe, video response, anything you guys want to do. Thanks.